Across the country, peaceful protests have too often devolved into standoffs with heavily armed police using military-style tactics.
Do not move. You're moving dead. Move out of the way.
Flashbangs, tear gas, rubber bullets, helicopters, armored vehicles.
Law enforcement in riot gear approach a barrier. Protesters on the other side, hands up in the air, chanting, "Don't shoot." But that's exactly what they did, shooting tear gas and rubber bullets.
The threat of terrorism after 9/11 convinced many departments to stock up. Now, those departments are facing off against their own citizens.
Caught on camera from coast to coast, alleged excessive force by police officers. Attacks against protesters who were demonstrating against police brutality.
In New York, police drove a vehicle into a crowd of people protesting there.
In Los Angeles, police swing batons at people who witnesses say were simply standing with their hands up.
A New York police officer caught on camera pushing a woman who was demonstrating.
An officer pulling a man's face mask off and spraying him with pepper spray.
This unsettling image of an officer kicking a woman who was maced.
Caught on camera, a protester run over by an HPD mounted patrol unit at the height of the protests.
We as black people deal with this every day. Black and brown people are treated brutally every day.
More than 300 journalists have faced press freedom violations.
Across the United States, the camera is rolling when law enforcement seem to be targeting journalists.
I am press. Please.
We identified ourselves as press, and they fired tear gas canisters on us at point-blank range.
This Australian cameraman and reporter were shoved and hit while live on air.
Police now advancing on protesters. Oh my gosh, we're moving. I'm getting shot. I'm getting...
In Louisville, pepper balls fired at a crew on live TV.
Who were they aiming that at?
At us, like directly at us.
Salt Lake City police officer in full riot gear using his shield to push an elderly man with a cane. The man falls face first onto the ground.
Two officers in Buffalo, New York, pushing a 75-year-old man who falls to the ground, hits his head, and starts bleeding. None of the officers in the video appear to help him. A police statement released before the footage was posted online said only that a man tripped and fell.
But after the video surfaced, the police commissioner ordered an internal affairs investigation and the immediate suspension of the officers without pay.
As the officers leave the courthouse, cheers from a crowd of fellow officers and law enforcement. In another show of support, all 57 members of the Buffalo Emergency Response Team resigned, but they remain on the police force.